Hello there, gang, and welcome to Model Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. I'm speaking in a bit of a lower tone right now because it's just gone the witching hour. I have other people who live in this apartment complex, and I don't want them banging on my walls because I'm talking excitedly about Marvel Legends, but guess what? We've got some Marvel Legends to talk excitedly about. You know what? I guarantee what just happened this week. Hasbro are like, hey, we just announced the new G.I. Joe HasLab. We're getting a lot of positive customer feedback. What are we going to do about it? I know, let's announce some Marvel Legends. That'll even the scales a little bit as far as karma's concerned, because there's always some saltiness, but there's also a lot of high praise to come with this wave. What wave am I talking about? The new Captain Marvel wave, which has just been released or dropped here. We've got all the new images. So let's talk about them. So first of all, this is a mixed wave. This is why I'm a little bit salty. I know this is no new thing. It's what they do. But they don't always do it. They're consistently inconsistent, which is why when we do get mixed MCU and comic book waves, I'm like, come on, guys, why you gotta play me like that? Especially when the Build-A-Figure is a nice comic book Build-A-Figure. It's a real nice comic book Build-A-Figure. But we're going to get to that later. First of all, let's just go through these in order because there's a lot of stuff to chew over. Is that an expression? Yeah, let's run with it. First of all, we've got Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. And, obviously, MCU, I'm not going to waste your time talking about stuff that you can just see for yourself. It's Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. I feel she gets a real bum rap in the media. It's really fun and popular to hate on Brie Larson. I don't think she's an evil human being. I think she gets a real bad rap. I actually quite like her in the MCU. So, I don't think she drowns puppies in her spare time or anything. I think people kind of need to chill on the Brie Larson hate. But hey, that's just me. I just think it's nice to be nice. And I think this is a nice action figure as well. The face scan technique, whatever it is that they do, it's still killing it. Genuinely, I've got to say, I've been buying, since I'm here in Japan, more Mafex and Revlatech and all that kind of stuff, and actually Marvel Legends face sculpts smoke them. Absolutely smoke them for half the price. Because I'm saying that because I got the Mafex Magneto 616, and I'm kind of underwhelmed by him. And one thing is that the unmasked face sculpt, I look at these Hasbro Marvel Legends and I'm like, Marvel Legends are doing faces better, and this is a good looking Brie Larson. But the rest of it, I'm not going to dissect it. You can see for yourself. And then we've got Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, who's still alive in the MCU and dead in the comics, in Spider-Man comics. It's not even her title. Seems like a bit of an odd decision to make. I mean, look, I know I didn't even worry about saying that as spoiler, because first of all, if you're watching this on the internet, come on, you know by now. And also, they're going to bring it back in 5 minutes. This is not a death. It's a cheap marketing ploy. But regardless, we've got Miss Marvel here, and honestly, I think this head sculpt, after just praising the Carol Danvers one, I think this one looks a little bit derpy. I think the hairline, forehead, it all looks a little bit not quite right. You know what I'm saying? I think you know what I'm saying. I'm not talking crazy here. I do talk crazy on a more than regular basis, but I don't think I'm out of line with this one. I think that there's a lot more red and gold in the costume this time around, and I'm thinking maybe that's a little bit of a nod to Iron Man. Is she a big... I was about to say she's an Iron Man fan, but no, that's Riri Williams, who's an Iron Man fan. I'm getting my Young Avengers confused. Regardless, it's an okay costume change. It's one of those sort of arbitrary changes that they always make between superhero films, where it's like, well, the costume was fine in the first one, but we need to change it a little bit so that we can justify making another action figure. And yeah, it's perfectly adequate. But we do get the Flurkin. That is what the cat's called, isn't it? A Flurkin? With its big, gross tentacles coming out. I actually really like that. I think that's a really fun, cool accessory. I moan, gripe, bitch and complain about not getting enough different accessories and things. So there you go. We got Kamala Khan with a Flurkin. So I kind of dig that. Almost said Kamala Khan with a Merkin. No, we're not getting that. Then we also have Spectrum, Rambo. That's it. See, no, Captain Rambo. What's her first name? Monica. There you go. I didn't want to stop because I knew it was on the tip of my tongue. only got one photo to go on. They haven't done the full photo press releases yet. We've just got the single basic ones. And she actually looks really good from this angle, from this 3/4 angle, slightly looking down. I think she looks kind of wicked. Actually, the costume looks nice. I'm fine with it. And with all of these MCU ones, no pins to speaketh of. It's always the MCU figures that seem to get the more deluxe treatment, I find, rather than the comic book ones. And hey, the comic book ones will catch up. And it's just a shame for me, since this is a mixed wave. I don't want any of these Miss Marvels. They do nothing for me. I don't want to have to buy them in order to get the Build-A-Figure. And that's why we really hate mixed waves. And that's why also I might just go, you know what? I won't bother at all. If these were 3 comic book figures, you'd probably have me buying the whole wave here, but you didn't go that route, Hasbro. So instead, I might just buy none of them. But now we can talk about the fun stuff. First of all, we've got the sentient Iron Man armor. This is cool. I mean, look, Hasbro make Iron Man armors almost as much as Todd McFarlane makes Batman. Actually, that's not remotely true. Hasbro could double the amount of Iron Men they make. It still wouldn't be a touch on Todd McFarlane. Regardless, we are getting another Iron Man. And yes, of course, to someone who's not an Iron Man aficionado, a history buff, it'll be like, well, that's not that different from the Alex Ross design that came out about a year ago. But for those who know, this is actually a really fun, cool design. If I've got this right. I'm not the history buff myself either, but I think this is the sentient Iron Man from the Heroes Return storyline. Or it's not really a storyline, it's more of a phase. When they end the Heroes Reborn, we have the Heroes Return, and Iron Man, one of the early stories of that is that his armor becomes sentient and tries to kill him, as things do when they become sentient. I guess they just realize the human race isn't worth sticking around. So this is cool. So you could either throw it into your Hall of Armor, have Iron Man fighting Iron Man, which is a cool excuse to have that kind of setup display. Quiet, computer, I'm getting messages from people. So yeah, this looks great with the old school spiky kind of helmet. Love the more details going on with the chest, the armor on the shoulders. Again, not a lot to go on, but I actually really like the look of this. We just got the, the Extremis Iron Man in the Puff Adder wave not long ago, so it's a good time to be an Iron Man fan. We're getting some nice Iron Men. Then, this is unexpected, Secret Avengers Steve Rogers. Now, y'all know me. I'm a sucker for building up teams and eras and having the is it Secret Avengers? More to the point, Uncanny Avengers. Steve Rogers. This goes with a Rogue that we've got. You can throw in Deadpool. I'm trying to think who else is in the Uncanny Avengers. The whole concept of the Uncanny Avengers was it was like the Unity Squad. It paired up X-Men and Avengers after they had the big X-Men versus Avengers crossover fight. Captain America was like, we need an Avengers team comprising both teams to kind of get a bit of unity going on here. Regardless, it was a cool story, and this is his sort of look before he becomes old man Steve Rogers. He had a busy few years. And they've got the translucent kind of energy shield as well, which I got to admit, my old grey matter, I don't remember him having that shield in that storyline. I'm sure he probably did. But again, it is a shield that has been used over the years, so it's fun to have that in your action figure circulation now. And again, comic book face sculpts, they just look really good. It's impressive that they've done so many Captain America faces, along with other similar blonde-haired faces like Johnny Storm and whatnot, and they've managed to differentiate them, make them look unique in their own different ways. So yeah, it's a basic body with pins. I know that they're phasing out. We haven't got rid of them yet, so that's still kind of a work in progress. It'd be nice if they slowly phased up the prices, but well, they kind of did. They phased them up, and then they phased them down. They're still trying to find that sweet spot that aren't going to piss off collectors so much. You're not quite there yet, but you're working on it. So yeah, I think this is a really nice looking Captain America. Not an essential Captain America, but if you're a hardcore team builder, this guy should make you happy. Then, we got a deep cut. We got Karnak. Speaking of teams, we got Karnak from the Inhumans. And this doesn't do anything for me. I never liked the Inhumans. The Inhumans are right around a similar sort of time as the Avengers Unity Squad. The Inhumans were getting what I like to call the Roman Reigns push in the comics, where Marvel was saying, these are your new favorites, whether you like it or not. Because this was during the time that Disney didn't own the X-Men. So they were like, well, we're not going to push the X-Men if we don't own them. So that was the problem. They obviously owned the comic books, but they didn't own the movies. So they're like, well, we can't possibly have popular comics if we can't make movies about them. So they tried to phase out the X-Men and replace them with the Inhumans. Where's that Tony Stark gif? Not a great plan. And it wasn't. But nonetheless, Karnak was heavily featured. And he's not a bad character. He's just like, you're not going to replace Gambit with Karnak or Wolverine with Karnak, you know? And Dome Head here. But it's a nice figure for you Inhuman fans. So both of you are going to love this figure. I'm being facetious. There are more. But still, older figure, pins, all that kind of stuff. We know about it. But it still looks kind of fun. If you're one of those Inhumans people, then this'll make you happy. Then this, yes, this does make me happy. Norva. Why? Here's why. Dark Avengers. Talking about building up Avengers teams. Yes! This gets me kind of excited that maybe we're going to get a couple of other Dark Avengers figures like, oh geez, I don't know, a new Daken figure? Maybe, or, dare I even speak its name, a new Iron Patriot, because we got the Extremis armor. I just thought we got the Extremis armor. So why can't we just repaint that into a Iron Patriot? Hasbro? No reason why not. Because this was the big holdout. Because we have a super old Daken figure, but this was the big holdout for Dark Avengers. So now, I mean, the costume is... I'm not sure if the costume's perfect for Dark Avengers, but like whatever, it's close enough. So that's really, really cool to see, actually. So yeah, this is pretty wicked. And he's, again, face sculpt looks great. Got a bit of a Quicksilver vibe to him there. Yeah, looking at this, I like it. He's got his two blasters as well. I can't imagine there'll be any other accessories, but you know, that's kind of, it is what it is. But yeah, I really like the look of that again as well. That's cool. That might be, I was gonna say my favorite comic book figure, but I don't know, because we've got the Build-A-Figure. And look at this dude, the Amadeus Cho, totally awesome Hulk. And yeah, there's a bit to unpack here. First of all, is this, help me out, guys, because I don't know, and I'm a little careful, Dave. Your ignorance is showing. Is this a completely new Hulk body? Because it looks like it. It looks like it's a completely new, slightly slimmer Hulk body, but I don't know. I'm not stating that as fact. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe you can help me. But I like the look of it. I always really like the Hulk's pants design for the Totally Awesome Hulk as well, because they look like sort of futuristic, super stretchy, unstable molecule type pants. You could believe that these would stretch and grow depending on his size. It's not the suspension of disbelief. How are those denim jeans ripping in all the right places and the waistband still holding on? I don't know. Here, they actually look like they make sense. He's got his Mike the Miz Mizanin duck's butt hair quiff going on there. It's Amadeus Cho. I think this looks great. I think it looks really, really great. My only little caveat is that I really love the face sculpt. Be a shame if it's the only one, though. I'm assuming it will be. But, you know, prove me wrong, Hasbro. Because I remember, just like Pepperidge Farms remembers, when Build-A-Figures used to have two different heads and different hands as well. Remember, not even that long ago. Actually, no, I can't remember one. Remember really long ago? Like the Sandman? Different hands, different heads. Oh, it was a good time to be alive. Regardless, I really like the look of this figure, but you know what? I'm not going to own him. Why? Because I'm not going to buy 3 MCU figures to get him. And in there lies the rub. Nonetheless, though, he is a beautiful looking Build-A-Figure. I'm excited to see what other people's look like when they have him in hand, but he won't be gracing my shelf unless he just, you know, magically arrives without me having to buy 3 Miss Marvel figures that I don't want. So yeah, there you go, guys. That is the new wave reveal. I'm kind of pleased. I'm excited for the comic book figures, and for the non-comic book figures, like, they look nice. I I feel like the non-comic book figures, I just don't know, because I'm so not into MCU figures. I'm like, I was about to say, well, these are going to be warm in shelves for forever, but I don't know, are they? Maybe they're not. Because I'm obsessed with comic books, maybe I'm like, oh no, people only want comic book figures. Whereas actually, no, I'm a tiny, small percentage, and then everyone else wants MCU figures. I don't know. Comment below, let me know, and tell me if I'm right or wrong. But gang, whatever you do, comment below and have some love in your heart when you do it. So gang, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Cup of coffee. Big time.